everyone, and thank you so much for joining us. We're really excited to share more about the Circular Economy Grand Challenge because it is back for 2026. My name is Taylor Fury, and I'll be walking you through everything that you need to know about the Grand Challenge over the next hour. Before we dive in, just a quick introduction. Like I mentioned, I'm Taylor. I'm the coordinator for pre-startup programs here at I2N, and you'll also see Nick Stevens in the chat. He's our manager for pre-startup programs at I2N, and we'll be dropping links and resources throughout the session. And he's happy to answer any questions that come through as well. Between Nick and myself, we run programs, undergraduate courses, and events which are designed to upskill people with ideas, helping them turn those ideas into something real, and hopefully, eventually, into an impactful business. And that's exactly what this challenge is designed to do. Before we jump into the specifics, we would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which I am gathered. I am at the Q Building at Honeysuckle, so I'd like to acknowledge the Awabakal and the Worimi people and pay my respects to elders past, present, and emerging. A couple of housekeeping notes. If you have a question at any point, you don't have to hold on to it until the very end of the session. Please just drop them into the Q&A at the very bottom, which a few of you have already found. And Nick will be keeping an eye on that throughout. We'll answer some of the questions, and the rest of the questions that need a longer answer will be answered by me at the very end. We've also got an FAQ section on the Grand Challenge website, so if something isn't covered today, chances are that it will be answered there. All right, the biggest question, what is a Grand Challenge? The Grand Challenge is an annual initiative of the University of Newcastle, and at its core, it's designed to support the development of innovative solutions to complex real-world problems. During the challenge, you'll have the opportunity to hear from industry experts about the circular economy and the problem that we're trying to solve. You can come with a team already formed, or you can join us at our team formation session to connect with other participants. We'll have more on the specifics of how you can get involved in a little later on. From there, your team will research the problem more deeply, and you'll start developing your idea or solution with support available at our optional events throughout the program. The proposals that you submit are then evaluated by a panel of judges against a set criteria, and the successful teams are awarded funding to move into prototype development and testing. But what is the circular economy part of the Grand Challenge? What does that mean? So most of us are familiar with what's called a linear economy. We take resources, we make products, and then we throw them away. It's a one-way system, and as you can imagine, it generates a lot of waste. A circular economy is a different way of thinking about how we make and use things. Instead of the take, make, dispose model, it focuses on reducing waste and pollution, keeping products and materials in use for as long as possible, and regenerating natural systems. That means designing for reuse, repair, recycling, and refurbishment, creating closed-loop systems that are better for people, businesses, and the planet. At the University of Newcastle, we're already embedding these principles into our own operations as part of our commitment to carbon neutrality, but we are completely aware that real impact comes from working together. That's where you come in. So what do you have to answer to? What is the question that we are asking you to submit a proposal for? Here it is just here. It's the challenge statement. You don't have to write this down just yet. It will be up on the website, but let's take a look at it. It says, how might we assist key stakeholders, such as suppliers, partners, and consumers, to transition to circular economy practices to minimize waste, maximize resource efficiency, and to achieve net zero goals? In plain terms, how can we support the people and businesses that we work with to adopt circular economy practices that reduce waste, use fewer resources, and help us reach net zero? This means rethinking how products are made, used, and reused so that less ends up in landfill and we get the most value from every material. To give you a couple of examples of the different kinds of circular economies, you could think about a supplier who might switch from single-use packaging to reusable containers. You might think of a company who might design a product that's easy to repair instead of being thrown away. Or another example is a product as a service model, like leasing equipment rather than selling it outright, so that the company stays responsible for repairs, upgrades, and end-of-life recycling. Now, those are just starting points. This topic is very deliberately very broad, which means that you can be as specific or as niche as you like. We really want to see what you can come up with in this space. Next question is, who can go into this challenge? Who is it for? The Circular Economy Grand Challenge is open to University of Newcastle students, staff, and alumni who are based in Australia. The teams for this challenge must have a minimum of 2 people and a maximum of 5. Community members are absolutely welcome to join, so that's anyone who's not affiliated with the University of Newcastle, more than welcome to join, as long as majority of the team members are University of Newcastle affiliates. So for example, if it is a team of 5, we would want at least 3 of those people on the team to be student, staff, or alumni, and the other 2 could be industry and community members. It's up to you to form your own team, and we have a series of events coming up, including a dedicated team formation event. These are great opportunities to make new connections and potentially find new teammates. So how do you get involved? Well, you're already at the very first event today, the information session. That will be here. Now, as you can see, the next event isn't until September. We have the expert panel, which is a great opportunity for those of you who are keen to get involved, but are still thinking, I don't know enough about this space. I don't know about the circular economy. Well, the experts will outline some of the current problems they are seeing in the circular economy and sustainability as a whole, and they'll even share what they'd recommend looking into. You don't need to be an expert yourself to participate. That's what the panel is for. Then we have a team formation event on the 17th of September if you're still looking for teammates, or if you have a fully fledged out team, but you're just wanting to see what others are working on for this challenge. The first round applications will close on the 27th of September. That's your initial written submission. So you can mark that date in your calendars because that's the most important one. From those submissions that you put in that day, we'll be selecting the top 10 applications to move into phase 2. Those 10 teams will then go through a validation workshop on the 6th of October and a pitch workshop on the 13th of October. Now, both of those events are designed to help you refine your idea and prepare for your final submission. The final submission is a video pitch, which is due on the 25th of October. Then the big one, the award night on the 4th of November. This is where we'll announce the winning teams. And importantly, all participants are invited to that event, regardless of whether you made it to the top 10 or not. It's going to be a celebration for everyone who was involved in the challenge. All of those dates are up on the website, and we'd love to see you in as many of them as possible. And like I mentioned, the good news is that the next series of events don't kick off until September. So what that means is that you have plenty of time to explore the Grand Challenge website, to get across the detail, start thinking about your ideas, reach out to me to get some clarity. You can do all of that work way before the next event happens in September. In saying that, you can book a session with me, like I mentioned. These are our consultation sessions. So you can book a free 15-minute session with me or Nick at any point throughout the program. So from now all the way up until just before the award night. And this allows you to be able to talk through your idea, to ask questions, gain some clarity, or just some reassurance about where you're at and where you're heading. The QR code on the slide will take you to that booking link, but Nick will also place the link in the chat, and it's also available on the website. Really encourage you to use that one. What's required of your submission? What do you need to submit? Well, for the first round, you'll need to put together a project submission that addresses the challenge statement. This will include who's on your team, a description of your proposed solution, and how you would use the $10,000 funding if you were to receive it. Those submissions are due by 5 p.m. on Sunday, the 27th of September, and you submit via the link on the website. When you go to that link on the website, it will have a PDF copy of the application. So you're welcome to take that PDF copy now and start working through it without having to actually submit anything. A couple of things to note about your submission. Teams can submit as many applications as you like, and we really encourage you to think broadly here. Submitting more than one idea will give you the freedom to explore different angles on the problem. It gives you the freedom to form different teams with different people and to keep expanding your thinking and learning throughout the process. There's absolutely no reason for you to have to limit yourself to one concept if you've got more than one worth exploring. In saying that, all the submissions need to follow the rules of engagement, which you'll find in the terms and conditions on the website. So we'd encourage you to read those before you get started. The assessment criteria is quite simple. It's 4 points, and you'll be assessed by a panel of judges across this 4 criteria. So the first one is the clarity of the problem. How well does your team understand and articulate the specific part of the problem that you're trying to solve? You don't need to tackle the whole challenge statement. In fact, the more specific and focused you are, often the better that you'll be able to clearly identify what problem you're solving. Vision and solution. How exciting, innovative, and unique is your proposal? We're looking for fresh thinking here and to understand what you think is different about your idea than what already exists out in the market. Your action plan. Do you have a clear and logical and thoughtful description of your next steps? And how would you use the funding to test your solution? What value or learnings are you aiming to achieve? This is about showing you've thought through what comes next, not what you've already done, not that you've already done the work. And what makes your team uniquely placed to tackle this challenge? How are you committed to your proposal? And this is where interdisciplinary teams with diverse skills and perspectives tend to do really well. So we always encourage you to try and find people who, not all focused on business, not all focused on being really invested in the circular economy and knowing a lot about it. It's really helpful to have very different people on your team. And at this first round stage, I really want to be clear that this just needs to be an idea. You don't need to have a significant amount of work done or to already have a polished solution. What the judges are actually looking for is just a great thought process and a little bit of validation that you started thinking about how your idea could work in practice. So please don't let the application put you off. If you've got an interesting idea, we really want to hear it. Full details on the assessment criteria will be available on the website, and we'd really encourage you to read them before you start writing your application. The biggest question of all, what's in it for you? Well, I would say quite a lot, actually. First of all, you get access to a fantastic series of events throughout the challenge and the opportunity to work on a project that moves the needle on circular economy, something that matters. And we just went through all of those. So really encourage you to come to all of those if you can. But on top of that, 3 teams will receive funding of up to $10,000 each to develop and test their idea. Beyond those prizes, the 3 funded teams will also receive 6 months of support through I2N to start developing and deploying their idea. That includes mentoring, connections, events, more. And on top of that, we have 3 $2,000 cash prizes up for grabs. First one, the Best Student Team Award, which recognizes the strongest submission from a student-led team. The Rising Star Award, which will go to a team that demonstrates the most growth from being selected in the top 10 through to the final submission. So even if you don't start out as the most polished team, that one could be for you. And the People's Choice Award, which is voted publicly in the week leading up to award night. So your network and your community get a say too on what idea that they would really like to see come to fruition. Now, that's all of the main information about the Circular Economy Grand Challenge. I want to throw to you guys to see if we have any questions in the Q&A. Oh, go back one, thank you. Look in the chat.
No questions just yet, but we'll just wait another 2 minutes and I'm sure some will come through.
Perfect, thank you. Trying to find the button for it. Awesome.
I'll also say while we're waiting, Taylor, well done. That was a great presentation.
Thank you.
It's really nice and refreshing to see the challenge again. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I think when I was editing the website and I got to update it, I was thinking, oh, the ideas we had last year were so awesome. And I'm really excited to see the ideas that come out of this one. Okay, so Melissa, could it be a large scale idea? Could you be a little more specific on that question? Yes, I guess it's my immediate answer for that. Your idea could be anything. It just can't be something that is already earning money, so a business that's already been created. That's not what we're looking for. We're looking for just brand new ideas or people that are starting out. So if that's what you mean, but otherwise the idea could be as big or as small as you like. Renee, does your idea need an established IP? Your idea just needs to be an idea to start off with. So last year we had a lot of people that submitted, honestly, on the day of, who submitted thinking, I just have this idea of how I think this business would work or this particular problem that I want to solve. They hadn't done a lot of work onto validating that just yet, and they still submitted, and some of those were selected into the top 10 just based on the fact that the judges really liked the idea of what they were solving. So it is completely fine for it just to be an idea. Adrian, which qualities will you be looking for in a project? So as I mentioned, there's the 4 criteria. So we're looking at how well are you able to articulate the problem that you're solving. That's a really big one. That one matters more to us than the actual solution itself, because like we always say, your solution might change 100 times, but the problem that you're solving won't. And so we really want to understand how you understand the problem that you're solving. Who's on your team? Is this novel? So is it something that has been done before, or is it something more innovative and unique? They're the qualities, and all of those will be up on the website as well. Robert, as a non-affiliate of the university, will the process help find partners from the university? Absolutely. So like I mentioned, we have the team formation session and also the expert panel session. Those 2 sessions are perfect for you to be able to come along and to meet other people. The team formation session is actually designed for you to be able to create a team. So most of the people that attend the team formation will come in not knowing anybody else. And there'll be a little bit of a workshop style activity for you to meet people and to see what ideas people have. If you have an idea, you can share your idea as well, get people to work with you. But that entire event is designed to get people from the university to work with community members and vice versa. Robert, as a non-affiliate of the university, oh, sorry, that was that one. Melissa, so national level, sorry. Oh, to the large scale idea? Absolutely. That sounds great. I can't wait to hear your idea. Like I mentioned, though, everyone who is working on the challenge needs to be based in Australia. So if you're wanting to go broader than that, just thinking about the fact that everyone on your team needs to be in Australia. But otherwise, it could be as big as you like. That sounds really exciting. I can't wait to see it. Awesome. Any other questions before? What kind of ideas have participants worked with last year? That's a great question. So last year, it was very broad. We had some that were working on wind turbine, like recycling of wind turbines, also recycling of solar panels. We had people who were taking the waste, the byproduct of yeast, and creating skincare. We had some people who had created electronic bins that would be able to create like a gamified system for students to be able to recycle and to earn rewards from recycling. We had, what else did we have? We had people who were using, what's the other one? Using mulch to be able to grow offcuts of food waste to be able to create mushrooms. Yeah, there was heaps of different ideas. You can see all of last year's top 10 participants and their videos up on the website as well. So if you go to the website, there's a section that says winners, and you'll be able to see the winners and what they were working on and their videos. It's a great question. Awesome. Just wait a couple more minutes. Again, I really apologize about the technical difficulties at the start. I was having a great time doing the presentation all by myself, but I am sorry that you're all waiting and confused on what was happening. Awesome. Okay. Like I mentioned, there is a series of links in the chat. So if anything that I spoke about, you wanted to go to the links to the website or to be able to book a meeting with myself or Nick or to look at the FAQs, they're all in the chat. So feel free to grab those. Robert asks, can we access potential research ideas from the university? That's a great question. It's not something that Nick and I are able to facilitate ourselves. However, more than happy to get you into contact with different people at different colleges, and you could ask those questions yourself and see if anyone wants to join your team. But it's not something that Nick and I can immediately just give you access to. Awesome. Okay. Just wait a couple more minutes. That was a quick one. And this session is recorded and will be up on the website. So if you want to go back and refresh your memory on anything that we spoke about, you'll be able to do that from next week. It'll be up on the website. Okay, great. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for joining our information session for the Circular Economy Grand Challenge. If anything is unclear or after you get off this call, you decide, oh, I really actually have quite a few more questions, like I said, please just schedule a meeting with myself or Nick on that Calendly invite or head to the website because it has a plethora of information on there. And I really hope to see you all at our next event at the expert panel session in September. Thank you so much for joining. Bye.